Hey everybody, my name is Splattercat and we are here at the Nerd Castle for another episode, so a merry hi-do to all of you in the worlds of Warband. That would be an amazing MMO, World of Warband. I'd be down. I would do it in a heartbeat. I wouldn't even think about it twice. In the previous episode, we were working on a quest. That's pretty much how we had occupied our time. We had to capture somebody for somebody else, and now that we're moving our human cargo around, we should be able to turn it in. If you attack my town with your 19 men, I'm going to beat you to death. Let's look at our notes and we're going to figure out where Jarl Dirajun is at. Last time we saw him... Let's see here. He's the Lord of Nudar Castle. So we may actually have to take a minute here and figure out where he's at. I don't even know if he's on the campaign trail. Oh, they're hitting Sargoth at the moment. I do think we can peel some of these guys off the edges. And so let's peel. We're definitely going to peel this thing. We're going to treat it like a delicious orange. Except for that white stuff. I don't like the white stuff that's all over an orange. You got to sit there with your fingernail all the time. And if you don't have fingernails like a crackhead, like... you can't like get the white stuff off the orange and then it's like all stringy up in your teeth. Just like... That's one of the reasons I don't eat oranges. I don't get my citrus, and that's why I have a lifelong battle with scurvy. I eat a lot of pineapple. I'm constantly eating pineapple. Mostly because... you know, half the family's Hawaiian, so you grow up eating a lot of Spam and a lot of pineapple. I mean, that's really kind of the staple of my people. Or at least my people, that half of my people. Oh good, my cavalry. I forgot to rope them in. Well, I guess I'll just live with that decision then, and they're probably all gonna die out there, but I think the people that are on horses are probably expendable at this point anyway, so who really cares? Whatever. They're killing guys. They're making sure that they're causing a little bit of mayhem, and so I'm happy with them. I'm really actually sort of surprised that they're not dead yet. I'm really impressed. Anybody that rides into a group of like 50 people and then just walks away unscathed after killing like a half dozen of them is pretty much one of those guys that I would not mess with. You, sir, I shall strike you because of your funny hat. Who puts a metal plate on top of a hat? That's not where metal plates go. They go on the dinner table. I guess that kind of plays into the I will drink from your skull type thing. I mean, I will eat from your skull would be the better situation. But in that spot, I feel like we've got like a Temple of Doom vibe going on. That would be pretty badass, though, if we could cannibalize our enemies. I feel like that would build our renown, but simultaneously hurt our honor. Somebody in the modding community should get on that. You win today, dog. Ach, the shame of it. I'm gonna bring him 2 prisoners because I can. So we've got Trida and we've got Attis. We've got farmers. I'm gonna take the peasant women because I want them to turn into sword sisters. And then we've got farmers. They turn into hired blades eventually or something like that. He's got Swadian sharpshooters, which might be a better choice actually. Let's dump the farmers and we'll take the Swadian sharpshooters as kind of an augment to our ranged troops, because in the last episode we lost like 31 guys when I had to run away from a combat. So I do think that replenishing, it seems like most of what they took from us were archery units, skirmishers and like things of that nature. Pick up some of the loot but not all of it. And how much do we have at Sargoth? Like, can we hold this? Like, what are they up against? King Harlaus there? I think we could conceivably hold it if we got in on the fight. Unfortunately, I'm on a quest right... Ah, they broke the siege. He's still going to keep it up by himself. But I think that works out a little bit better to our advantage. So if he's the Lord of Hrus Castle... or no, it said he was the Lord of Nudar. So he may be down here somewhere. Oh, Ambion's under attack again. Let's get out here and do our business. After consulting the Lords of the Realm, he's going to confer Tizmir on you. Sure, I'll accept the honor of Tizmir. Tizmir's probably bulldozed already. Where is Tizmir? Is it... oh, okay, so he gave me land next to Qdan. That's cool. So it's going to be difficult for me to police my lands, but at the same time, it's nice to get a little bit of extra rev. And we do have to run him off because he won't give up on this. Like, he'll come back like every 3 seconds. We do have like a half month to get our job done when it comes to finding Dirajun. Yeah, see, he came back already, so I think we're going to have to really just kind of put the screws to him. Let's do it. Let's kick the hell out of this guy now. And I realize I haven't done any of my upgrades. It'll be alright. Everything will work out okay. And then you gentlemen follow me. Everything will be alright. God. I don't know why, but I just got like an Uncle Kracker flashback. Isn't that a weird thing to think about, that Uncle Kracker song? It played all the time for like probably a good year. And it was one of those tracks that just got so burned out that I don't think you can feasibly have a career after that. Although I guess there are plenty of examples that prove that to be false. I'm going to send my cavalry out now. And then I'm also going to send out my infantry because they're approaching from a weird direction. And I want to make sure that they don't get to my archers. My archers are precious to me. I make ceramic models of them. And I kind of name them. And then they actually look like the guys at hand. And one time they stumbled into my... I'm missing like crazy right now. They're almost like precious moments, but for soldiers. And so they're sort of adorable. I think that you have to find your creative outlets where you can when you're a mass-murdering psychopath. Which our character... Let's face it, our character is a mass-murdering psychopath. We've killed how many human beings? We've killed a lot of people. I mean, the sheer amount... I think she'd be a psychopath just based on the amount of people we've killed in bar fights. Which I think is approaching like 10 to 11. But based on the fact that we've killed 1,500 human beings, that's a lot. That's a pretty hefty kill count. That's definitely approaching the mass murderer range. Like, regardless of motivation, that's a lot of people to kill. I feel like instead of killing 1,500 people, we probably could have come up with a different solution if the game allowed it. Luckily, we're in the world of Warband, which means that there's no such thing as mass murderers. There's basically just guys riding all over the map who are made of pixels and also polygons. Sure, why not capture a few more friends? Ambien is safe once more. You've always got to keep your Ambien safe. Where is is Ragnar here, or who is here? Dirajun, let me hang out with you. Dirajun. Well, let me click you would be my first request. That's Rudin. I don't need Rudin. Oh, he's inside. Okay, that's why I couldn't find him. Let's go to the Lord's Castle, and we shall swap some prisoners, which was my big thing that I wanted to get done during this episode. There are many things to be done. That's a pretty hefty treasure chest. I would showcase my treasure chest if it was that large, too. And there it is. So we've gone ahead and we've tracked down a lord. We've given it over to Jarl Dirajun. And we'll say certainly, and we'll ask him if he has any tasks. No, none that are capable for a man or a woman of our stature. Is he married right now? I heard that you have captured Count Attis, and I will pay you 1250 for him if you want to get rid of him. Sure, whatever. We've got money, and I don't feel like carting him around. I never had that happen before either. Maybe I just don't talk to people enough in this game. Let's talk to the king. So you cross swords in a... Oh, good. He's happy with us. Let me ask if he's got a group of taiga bandits. I know where that's at. So we're going to do that quest for sure, because having a king who's friends with you absolutely 100% really makes it unlikely that you're going to get jumped once you make your own faction. So I do want to make it clear that what we're doing right now is the busy work to having your own kingdom. There is a lot of busy work. You've got to run around. You've got to make sure you've got friends. And actually in my notes, let me look at my relationship reports. I bet we've got more friends now. Yeah, so now we've got Noyan, Dirajun, Jarl Vlan, and hopefully we can put the king on the list too after this little exploit. Got a lot of level ups to do, and I should probably sit down and do that to make sure everybody's as robust as they can possibly be, because I'm not in the business of losing troops right now. I don't want a caravan guard. Actually, I think the caravan guard is what turns into a swordsman. I don't know. In any case, I think I'm about to cut the episode right now because the groundskeeper at my apartment complex has decided to use his leaf blower around my house while I'm trying to record. So I'll come back in just a second after making this cut, and we will get started on finishing up the episode, I guess. I guess getting started on finishing something? It's kind of a weird way to put it, but I'll stick with it for now. Back to work, back to work. Now we're going to go take care of this Tundra bandit lair. That's going to be our big plan for right now so that we can make the king love us a little bit more. Lately, he's been really kind of holding back. I mean, when it comes to his prowess, he just doesn't look at us like he used to. And it really makes me kind of feel sad. I wish he still had the love in his eyes. And so hopefully when we murder a bunch of bandits and just execute them summarily without trial, hopefully he'll love us again. Because that really does sort of seem like a kingly thing to do. And it seems like the kind of action that might garner you some kind of kingly love. Now there's a bunch of guys up on the hill over there. I don't know if I'm going to go up and around with these guys. So basically there's going to be 3 locations where they tend to spawn. There's going to be over there, there's going to be up there, there's back there, and then there's over there. And I think for now, I'm going to go up this hill and see what's waiting for... Okay, so we have a couple of guys over there that are each going to start skirmishing from pretty deep. And the plus side about them having locked onto me is it means that they aren't going to be able to hit any of my guys with their projectiles, which going into these fights, my big worry going into these fights is always that I'm going to lose like a ton of guys to like really dumb circumstances. Like, I really sincerely hate losing soldiers on simple fights like this. It's just like... makes me really kind of just want to like headbutt a nail or something. Luckily, they've all got maces. Ow, bastard. Alright, so we're back down to, like, no health. Which means that we need to kind of be careful for the remainder of this fight. Luckily, they're just taiga bandits, so I'm not that worried about them. Oh, no. Weird glitch spawns aside. He shouldn't have spawned right there because we were standing next to it, but he did. Okay, so that guy's now down. So what I need to do is back up all of my soldiers because this hill right here is going to be their flanco doom. And so I need to get everybody up off it. Kill off some of these archers before we go any further. We want to pay attention for spawns now because that's going to be the big problem that arises. I don't see any spawns nearby, but we're pretty bloodied. I mean, they've definitely hit us in the schnoz a bit. And the thing about getting hit in the nose is that your eyes water, and I hate that. But anyways, I assume that her eyes are watering like crazy, but a McGriddle never cries. A McGriddle only causes more pain. The more upset a McGriddle becomes, the more pain she has to cause. That's just like the family business. How's this looter? This looter is straight out skilling me right now. Oh. I refuse to die to a looter. I refuse. I will not do it. Am I the only person left? What the hell are my troops doing? You guys are a bunch of dunces. What is even happening here? God. Where are the pointy hats? I feel as though I have definite candidates for Darwin Awards today. I don't think we should be up against many more bandits. I think these should be the last two. With their furry collars as though they've been pimping out in the rain all day. Sometimes you gotta wear a mink, I don't know. I guess that's what makes one looter stand out from another, the size of his mink. We've wiped out the thing that he wanted us to wipe out now. And I've got a strong bow, but are these better? So 23 piercing on what I have right now, and then there's a... Nah, whatever. I will take the food, though. That's going to be nice. And then we'll probably stop by Kura on the way back. It's going to be like the McDonald's to our adventure. Where, like, after you get the job done, the kids are like, can we go to McDonald's and get a McFlurry? And you're like, yeah, we can get a McFlurry and an apple pie because you guys did okay. So let's go over here and go into the tavern first and foremost because I want to find out if ransom brokers have really been eluding me lately. They are just hiding all over the place. They're like up in some bushes or something, just like... God. It's like that thing that lives in Jabba the Hutt's tummy where it's like... Like, what the hell is that thing anyways? And secondly, like, is it a symbiotic relationship? I mean, I would live in Jabba the Hutt's belly button. He seems like a cool guy to hang out with a lot of the time. He seems like a powerful friend to have until somebody comes and chokes him out with a chain. But in any case, I would hang out with Jabba the Hutt. I mean, I would live in his belly button. It seems sweaty, though. It seems as though it might be moist, so I feel like my expenditure on, like, towelettes would go up slightly. Nonetheless, it's good to have powerful friends. Let's go ahead and sell off the remainder of this terrible loot to get some money. And then we'll buy some more food, some sausages, and everything else we're going to leave because we want to have food variety. With how large our party is, we want to make sure that we have loads and loads of different types of food. Oh, good. Ambien's under attack again. We're not going to make it this time. It is virtually assured that Ambien is toast. But just in case we manage to make it there in time, let's do our upgrades. There's not a lot of them, strangely enough. I'll go with a man-at-arms because we could definitely use some more cavalry. I have been feeling as though I've been lax on my cavalry development. That's right, buddy. Back off. This is my village, son. My village. You don't even know. I'm gonna run this guy first. He's headed back. We've got too many prisoners right now, so I can't outrun a lot of these little turds. But I can get you. Yeah, that's right, Trimbow. Let's do this thing. Let's do this thing. Trim Bow's bow is about to be trimmed hardcore. It is about to be ugly. His bow, it's no longer even going to be there. I mean, it's going to be completely and totally gone. And so when he decides to be like, bring them across my bow, well, you know what? Everybody's going to laugh at him. Every sailor in his employ is going to be like, man, you don't even have one. You're going to be like one of those people that has no chin. Their neck just like goes straight into the bottom of their head. God. Be thankful for your chin, because some people are born without them. Some people just have like this kind of thing going on. I don't know. I don't even know what to call it, really. I'm sure it has some kind of like technical mean name that everybody on the internet's given it. Oh no. Infantry charge! They're coming up over the wrong hill. Luckily, I've healed up enough to where I can start absorbing some fire and like forcing them not to be able to like skirmish with my troops. But my infantry are definitely going to need to like wheel about because I deployed that all wrong. I thought they were coming from a completely separate direction, and I was wrong, which normally is not such a strange thing for us here at the Nerd Castle. Like, I am wrong a lot. I mean, it happens quite frequently to the point, I mean, don't tell my significant other that I've said that, because really I feel like I never hear the end of it. She might have like business cards made or something, like bumper stickers. And she's like, he admitted it. That's all it says on the bumper sticker. He admitted what? You need to explain more. Your bumper sticker sucks. I hate it when you have like, I hate it when people have personalized plates on their cars that it's like an inside joke between them and one other person, to the point where it's completely indecipherable to anyone else. You're like, yeah, that's I like the ones that are like an inside joke, but at the same time they're funny to everybody else too, just because I like the assemblage of the letters. And I realize it takes a little bit more effort to get to that point, but I don't know. It's just like being outside the inside joke. It's like when you're a busboy. Like, I was a busboy for a while, and all the waiters would like hang out with each other, but busboys weren't allowed, so I go hang out with the cooks. It's all good. I learned to speak Spanish better because of it. So whatever. Take that. I learned stuff. I'm gonna let him go. And so we're now up to 8 with him. I don't want to let him go, so I want to make that clear. Like, deep down in my stomach, I want to just murder him. I want to hang him. Basically, what I want to do is I want to have like a big string like around Ambien, and I just want to hang lords from it. Just a big old, I would call it like a human fishing line almost. And I would just leave it out there, and that would be for everyone to see. This is what happens when you come and you mess with my land. Like, you guys are never going to bust through my lines right here. You ain't never gonna get it, to quote Fight Night Round 3. So I think, like, they really just need to get the point that I'm indestructible right now. Like, we are kind of like a warrior goddess of Warband at the moment, and the more they try and attack my cities, the worse it's gonna get for them. They're trying to use, like, sneaky diversionary tactics now, and that's not gonna work either. Somebody here is gonna die. Oh, you messed up now. This guy was the chain in the middle that allowed everybody to get stuck in a battle. Yep. Oh, somebody jumped in on my side. Who jumped in on my side? Oh, it's a fight in my city. Okay, so this is gonna be a little bit different. A fight in your city plays out a little bit more. Basically, what I want to do is I want to put infantry over here. Cavalry can just like charge and do whatever it is that they're gonna do, because they're cavalry. I mean, they're not going to be useful in this situation anyways. We've got like a tiny bridge with a river and a bunch of rocks and stuff in the middle. But what we do want to do is we really want to have like all of our archers and stuff just in a defensive position where they can hang back. And then we want them to come to us, because they're going to have to cross the river, and we have a ton of just these little villagers right here. And I think what I would like to do is just kind of fire across the river at these guys who are skirmishing over here. And if we can score a few kills, level up our bow skills maybe. We really need to focus our research on like one of those things that locks the bow into place once you get it drawn, so it doesn't take arm strength to do it anymore. Like, I feel like we really need to focus on that. Another one down. And for him, he's moving a bit too much. Not a headshot. I wanted a headshot out of that, but it's not going to give it to me. It's not going to allow me to be happy. I'm going to have my infantry charge now, because it looks like they're all wrapped up in the middle of my archers. And yeah, we just lost an archer, and that's bad. Whoever that guy is, like, rip his tongue out or something. Do something violent and middle-agey to make me feel better. And I don't mean middle-agey like 38 years old buying a Porsche or something. That's not the middle-agey that I'm talking about. Although, you know, sometimes a Porsche make you feel better. I'm approaching that. Well, I'm not like there yet. I talk to friends I have friends who have hit the big 3-0 now. And it's sort of a terrifying line to draw in the sand. You're like, wow, that is a whole new set of numbers with a different number at the beginning. I don't really care that much, but we didn't capture anybody? Damn it, Rymusk. Why do you make me do this? I need to make sure I level up first, and then we'll run him down. I'm going to do a couple more warriors. There we are. We got the huntresses on up. Oh, I cannot wait until we have more sword sisters. It is going to be off the medieval chain. Artimenor's ready to go. And what does Artimenor do for us? Artimenor, trade, engineer, surgery, and tacticos. Okay, let's go with... Well, I don't know. Where'd he go? There he is. There's Fartimenor. Let's get on over in here. And he was just working his intellect just to get better and better and better at things. So I think I'm going to keep him moving along those lines. And if we can get him up to Surgery 7, that'll be super amazing. But for now, I'm going to give him... Let's give him some shield skills so that his coverage is a little bit better with his shield. We'll continue working his one-handed weapons. Rolf is ready to go. He's just an out-and-out warrior. Isn't he? Wait, what? None of his skills are being listed. Why is a wound treatment 1? Oh, it's because he's knocked out. Okay, that's fine. So because his skills aren't being utilized at the moment, we'll go with a supplementary. Let's go to first aid to make ourselves a little bit better there. Because his wound treatment is pretty much healing us overnight as it stands right this second. Actually, maybe I should give him Weapon Master because he's not able to level up any further. So we'll give him a Weapon Master, and then we'll keep going with another Intellect, and then we'll go First Aid 4. There. Now we get 20% health back whenever we get knocked out, and that's going to be fine, just fine. Borcha. He's got Intellect leveled up, too, for tracking and for pathfinding and for spotting. Seeing as that's not going to be very useful to him right now, let's give him another Weapon Master. We'll give him another Shield skill, so that he's got a bit better coverage. We'll start working some of his kind of extra combat skills before we go anywhere else. Nizar, our big knight. This is our guy who's been kicking asses and doing stuff. So he made it up in the last time we were trying to get him up to the point where his riding skill was high enough that he could have a badass horse. Now we want to focus on making him fight a little bit better. So let's give him Shield 4 for really, really, really good coverage. Beheshter, we already leveled him, so I must have forgot to allocate something. Beheshter has a 25 intellect. That's really, really insanely good right now. I think I'll probably give him riding 3, and then we'll start working his agility pretty soon too. But for now, I think where he's at is going to be satisfactory. Oh, I forgot. I was going to get into a fight. Let's get into a fight. We've been doing a lot of battling. I've been thinking about that. There's been a ton of battling going on. It's been like a Pokemon gym up in here. Just all kinds of battles occurring. Just left and right over the last few episodes, which is good because we had like a nasty little lull where nothing good was happening. And I think this sort of like certifiably ends the whole little period that we were stuck in. We're just like managing finances and we aren't at war with enough people. Now, the sad fact of the matter is that because there's so many wars going on right now, inevitably there's going to be a big period of peace afterwards. Whenever the entire continent of Calradia seems to erupt into flames, after it's doused, it seems to take a little bit before heads get hot again. But we do have some pretty hot heads up in this location, Giggity, so I think we may get away with it. Arrows being fired, people dying, mothers crying, all that fun stuff that accompanies warfare. They're gonna have to come over the hill right here, so we've got like a little reverse hill defense occurring, which is pretty sweet. I like it when I have tactically sound things that just kind of happen. I'm gonna allow them to skirmish for a little bit on this one. Let's go ahead and send in the cavalry. Send in the proverbial... Well, we only have one with us. We only have one clown. You know clowning is going extinct? There was a Gawker like post about that. Like, clowning is going extinct. Like, enrollment in clowning societies has dropped off by like 80% or like 40% or some ridiculously huge number that you don't see in any other profession right now. I mean, there are other professions that I think are probably dying off. I think like tannery is probably something that's not occurring so much anymore. Dinosauring, one of those things you don't see much. Did I get him? Oh, I did, but I didn't get him good enough. The quality of the get him was not up to par in order to put him in a wood coat. We lost one trained spearman, I'll take it. Kettle hats, just in case you need something to eat dinner out of. And then we're going to go back up to Ambient and make sure that this final guy is run off, because I absolutely just know he's going to be back up and in here. 3 Nord recruits. I think that's probably because I'm full up. Yep, we're full on up. Let's get another Vaegier Archer leveled up. And honestly, I think this is probably a good spot to break off the episode. So, my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Mount and Blade of Warband. It's always fun to play this game with you guys. I'm looking forward to when we start our own kingdom. I think after we finish off, I asked for 2 more campaigns, and summarily we went to war with both Vaegirs and we went to war with Swadia. So once those 2 are over, we're going to have 60 right to rule. That means we should be about in the place. If we play our cards right and we make enough friends at this point, it should put us in the right cart to start our own kingdom very, very shortly. Take care out, everybody, and I will see you in the next episode.